Today we're taking a look at some of the most exciting upcoming games headed to the Nintendo Switch 2. Some of these titles are official sequels, others are brand new, but they all have one thing in common. They're built to take full advantage of what the new hardware can offer. So let's not waste any more time. Here are the games we're most looking forward to on the Switch 2. 007. First Light is IO Interactive's bold take on the early days of James Bond, way before he ever earned his 00 status. This isn't your typical smooth-talking spy fantasy. Bond here is younger, more reckless, and still figuring things out. Built on the Glacier engine, the same one behind Hitman, it blends stealth, cinematic action, and vertical traversal across exotic global locations. MGM reportedly gave IO full creative freedom, just one rule: don't turn Bond into a cold-blooded killer. It's set for Switch 2 and other platforms in 2026. If they can nail the balance between character-driven moments and spy-level thrills, this origin story could be a standout for both the franchise and Nintendo's new hardware. Paper Sky is one of those quiet little games that could end up stealing hearts if it lands right. It's a peaceful flight adventure where you control a paper airplane drifting across handcrafted diorama-like landscapes. The game leans heavily into exploration and light puzzle solving, using wind currents and environmental details to guide your path. There's no dialogue, just visual storytelling, and honestly, that makes it feel even more immersive. The art style is incredibly charming, with warm colors and cozy backdrops that almost look like pop-up books brought to life. It's not trying to be flashy, it's aiming for calm, reflective, and emotional. Coming to both Switch and Switch 2, it's the kind of game that could really shine on a portable screen. For players looking to slow things down and take in something beautiful, this one could quietly become a favorite. Spine is shaping up to be one of the flashiest and most stylish action games in development right now. Set in a gritty cyberpunk future, you play as Redline, a rebellious street artist enhanced by a sentient combat implant known as Spine. Together, you're up against an oppressive AI regime, and the gameplay leans hard into cinematic gun-fu combat. Every move is motion captured, letting you chain together melee strikes, wall flips, disarms, and bullet-time shootouts with ridiculous flair. Think John Wick meets Sifu, with Unreal Engine 5 visuals and over-the-top camera angles that never stop moving. It's coming to Switch 2, which is kind of wild considering how intense and choreographed the action is. If it runs well, this could be one of the most visually insane third-person shooters ever released on a Nintendo platform. Goodnight Universe is definitely one of the weirder, more experimental games coming to Switch 2. You play as Baby, a tiny infant exploring surreal environments shaped by emotion, and in some versions, even your facial expressions. The game blends puzzles, light platforming, and narrative moments into a strange but intriguing package. It's not aiming for traditional gameplay, instead, it's all about mood, atmosphere, and connection. The art style is soft and dreamlike, matching the tone perfectly. With Switch 2's added tech muscle, this could be a surprisingly emotional little adventure. It's odd, but it might just work. REANIMAL is a gritty, side-scrolling action game that throws you into a bleak, post-apocalyptic world teeming with danger. You play as one of two siblings, each with distinct playstyles, trying to survive in the ruins of a broken society filled with monstrous creatures and corrupted machines. One sibling fights with speed and agility, while the other brings raw power and heavy strikes, and you can switch between them or team up in co-op. The combat is fast, weighty, and designed around chaining combos and reacting to enemy patterns. Visually, it's got a bold, hand-drawn aesthetic that gives everything a harsh, worn-down look. It's the kind of game that doesn't hold your hand, but rewards precision and timing. Coming to Switch 2, it could end up being a sleeper hit for fans of tough, stylish action games. Full Metal Schoolgirl is one of the most chaotic and over-the-top action games in the pipeline, and honestly, it looks wild in the best way. Set in a dystopian cyberpunk Japan, you play as a heavily armed high school girl fighting her way up a 100-floor tower filled with deadly enemies, traps, and insane boss battles. The gameplay is a mix of stylish hack and slash and ranged shooting, with flashy combos, wall runs, and explosive finishers. Visually, it's packed with neon, particle effects, and anime-style attitude. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but the action looks sharp and satisfying. It's launching on Switch 2 alongside other platforms, and if the performance holds up, it could deliver that fast-paced arcade energy some players have been missing. Castle of Heart Retold is a full reimagining of the original 2018 action platformer, and this time, it's aiming to do things right. You play as a cursed knight slowly turning to stone, fighting through grim medieval environments before your body crumbles away. The Retold version rebuilds the entire experience from the ground up. New animations, improved controls, revamped level design, and a darker, more immersive story. Combat is still timing-based and punishing, but with more fluid mechanics and better feedback. It's got that Souls-like edge, but wrapped in a side-scrolling format, which makes every step and strike matter. Coming to Switch 2, it looks sharper and runs smoother than before, and for fans of tough platformers, this might be the version that finally hits the mark. Professor Layton and the New World of Steam marks the return of one of Nintendo's most beloved puzzle series, and it's looking sharper than ever. Set in a steampunk version of America, the story picks up 1 year after the events of Unwound Future, with Layton solving mysteries in a city powered by advanced steam tech. The hand-drawn visuals have been upgraded beautifully, keeping the charm of the originals while feeling fresh on new hardware. Expect plenty of clever puzzles, emotional storytelling, and that signature Layton atmosphere. It's coming to both Switch and Switch 2, and it looks like a perfect fit for portable play. For longtime fans and newcomers alike, this one's shaping up to be a must-play return to form. Terminator 2D No Fate is bringing the iconic sci-fi franchise back with a retro twist, and it actually looks pretty damn fun. It's a side-scrolling action shooter that reimagines the events of Terminator 2 with intense pixel art, explosive set pieces, and fast-paced gameplay. You play as the T-800 tearing through waves of enemies, protecting John Connor, and battling Skynet forces across familiar locations from the film. The combat looks tight and responsive, with destructible environments and big boss fights that lean into arcade-style chaos. The visual style has that gritty 16-bit vibe, but with modern effects layered in. It's coming to Switch 2, and for fans of old-school action games and the Terminator universe, this might be a surprisingly solid throwback. Final Fantasy Tactics. The Ivalice Chronicles is finally real, and it's exactly what longtime fans have been waiting for. This enhanced remaster brings back the legendary tactical RPG with HD visuals, fully voiced cutscenes, and loads of quality-of-life upgrades, like adjustable battle speed, difficulty modes, and even a classic view toggle. You can play it with all the modern enhancements, or switch to a more traditional look and feel if you want that nostalgic punch. The political drama, deep job system, and grid-based strategy that made the original a classic are all intact, just sharper and more accessible than ever. It's coming to both Switch and Switch 2, and Square Enix is even offering a free upgrade if you start on the older hardware. For strategy RPG lovers, this one's an absolute must-play. ES10 Proud Nordics is a major upgrade to the original game, and it's packing way more than just a visual refresh. This expanded edition brings a brand new storyline set on Oland Island, with new bosses, mana-powered mechanics, and even racing and arena challenges that add some solid replay value. The dual-character combat from the base game is still here, letting you switch between Adol and Karya on the fly, but now it's tighter and more refined. You've also got new exploration zones and additional side content that fleshes out the world in a meaningful way. On Switch 2, it's running smoother than ever, with performance modes reaching up to 120 frames per second. This isn't just a re-release, it's a full-on enhanced experience for Wise fans and a great jumping-in point for newcomers too. Yooka-Replaylee is a full remaster of the original Yooka-Laylee, bringing the colorful 3D platformer back with sharper visuals and much-needed improvements. The graphics have been completely overhauled, with better lighting, textures, and smoother animations that make the environments pop. Controls and camera movement have been reworked too, fixing some of the clunkiness from the original release. It still keeps the heart of a classic collect-a-thon filled with quirky characters, massive levels, and tons of secrets to uncover. New additions like a world map, updated puzzles, and extra challenges give returning players something fresh. It's launching on Switch 2 and looks like the version that finally delivers on the game's original promise. Witchbrook is shaping up to be one of the most charming and detailed life sim RPGs coming to Switch 2. You take on the role of a young witch in training, attending classes, brewing potions, farming herbs, and building friendships in the cozy coastal town of Mossport. The game features rich pixel art visuals, complete with dynamic weather, daily schedules, and seasonal events that bring the world to life. There's a strong focus on routine and progression. You're not just decorating your cottage, you're growing as a witch. Co-op support is also included, letting up to 4 players explore, garden, or even fly broomsticks together. It's planned for release in winter 2025, and with how polished it's already looking, it might become one of the standout cozy games on Switch 2. Planet of Lana 2. Children of the Leaf builds on the emotional puzzle platforming of the first game, but everything here feels bigger and more ambitious. Lana returns with her loyal companion Mui, and this time their journey spans across new environments: frozen peaks, ancient ruins, and even deep underwater caverns. The cinematic art style is still stunning, but gameplay has been expanded with more complex puzzles, enhanced stealth sequences, and smoother traversal like wall jumps and slides. It's still focused on the bond between the characters, but now with more action and movement woven in. Coming to Switch 2, the sequel aims to be more dynamic while staying true to the quiet, heartfelt tone of the original. If you like the first game, this is one you'll want to keep an eye on. Maseylia Echoes of the Past is a new 3D Metroidvania adventure crafted specifically for Switch 2, and it's looking like a bold entry into the genre. Set in a massive, interconnected world filled with biomechanical ruins and ancient tech, the game focuses heavily on fluid movement and exploration. You'll unlock traversal powers like mid-air dashes, phase shifting, and environmental manipulation to reach new areas and uncover hidden paths. The combat leans toward fast-paced precision, with a mix of ranged and melee tools that evolve as you progress. Visually, it's sleek and atmospheric, with moody lighting and sharp design that really stand out on the new hardware. It's aiming to deliver that satisfying loop of discovery and power progression Metroidvania fans love, but with a more modern 3D twist. Definitely one to watch for Switch 2's early library. That's our list for now, but as always, there's plenty more coming down the pipeline for the Switch. If there's a game you're hyped for that didn't make the list, let us know in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button really helps us out. Don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns just like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.